The country that only lasted 6 days, the Republic of Sonora. The mid-19th century in the United States was a period of fervent expansionism, often fueled by the ideology of manifest destiny. This era gave rise to a peculiar and controversial phenomenon known as filibustering, privately organized military expeditions, often with tacit public support but no official government sanction, aimed at overthrowing existing governments in foreign countries to establish new, often pro-slavery republics. At the heart of this audacious movement was William Walker, a diminutive American adventurer, often called the King of the Filibusters. His most notorious and comically brief attempt at nation-building resulted in the Republic of Sonora, a country that existed for a mere 6 days. This is a tale of incredible ambition, reckless disregard for international law, and the harsh realities of trying to carve out a new nation from the wilderness of a foreign land with a private army. Walker's story serves as a bizarre footnote in the complex history of U.S.-Mexico relations and 19th century American expansionism. Part 1. The Filibuster King, William Walker's Ambition. William Walker was a man of diverse talents. A lawyer, a doctor, a journalist, and a passionate believer in American expansionism. However, his true calling, as he saw it, was to establish new English-speaking republics in Latin America. These ventures often masked a desire to expand slaveholding territory and personal power. He harbored a fervent belief in his own destiny to create these new nations, seeing himself as a modern-day conqueror. His first notable attempt would target Mexico's northern territories, vast and sparsely populated after the Mexican-American War. His vision was to take advantage of Mexico's weakness and establish a new republic that would eventually be annexed by the United States, likely as a slave state. Part 2. The Invasion and the First Proclamation. In the summer of 1853, Walker, with little more than audacious charisma, managed to recruit a small, ill-equipped force of around 45 men, romantically dubbed the Immortals. His target was Baja California and Sonora, two remote and strategically located Mexican territories. On October 15, 1853, Walker and his Immortals launched their invasion, landing in La Paz, the capital of Baja California. With surprising ease, they captured the town. Walker, wasting no time, immediately proclaimed the independent Republic of Lower California. He declared himself president, established a new flag, and began implementing laws based on the Louisiana Civil Code, effectively transforming the conquered territory into his personal domain. This marked the birth of his first ephemeral republic. Part 3. The ill-fated march to Sonora. Walker's ambition, however, stretched beyond just Baja California. His ultimate prize was the larger, richer territory of Sonora, famed for its rumored mineral wealth. In January 1854, with some reinforcements, he began his audacious, grueling march eastward across the harsh desert to conquer Sonora. The challenges were immense. The brutal and unforgiving desert landscape, a severe lack of supplies, increasingly effective resistance from Mexican forces, and growing attrition and dissent among his own small, under-disciplined army. Many of his men deserted, unable to cope with the hardships. Despite these mounting difficulties, Walker pressed on. On January 18, 1854, perhaps as a psychological boost or a reassertion of his grand vision, Walker formally announced that he was annexing Sonora into his domain. He then renamed his fledgling territory the Republic of Sonora. This moment marked the brief, official existence of the country that only lasted 6 days. Part 4. The 6 Days of the Republic of Sonora. The Republic of Sonora was, in practical terms, little more than a grand declaration on paper. Walker's actual control over any part of Sonora itself was fleeting, often limited to the very ground his exhausted force occupied as they marched. From January 18th to approximately January 24, 1854, the Republic of Sonora technically existed under Walker's self-proclaimed presidency. During these 6 days, his force was under constant pressure, battling dwindling supplies, harsh weather, Mexican resistance, and internal strife. The dream of a new nation in Sonora dissolved almost as quickly as it was proclaimed. The overwhelming realities of invasion, lack of popular support, fierce opposition, and logistical nightmares proved too great for Walker's small, ill-prepared army. Part 5. The retreat and final collapse. Facing inevitable defeat, Walker had no choice but to abandon his ill-fated Sonoran venture. He led his dwindling, demoralized force in a desperate retreat, reversing course and heading back towards the U.S. border. On May 8, 1854, William Walker and his surviving 33 men surrendered to U.S. Army authorities at San Diego, California, having failed completely in their attempt to seize Mexican territory. Walker was subsequently arrested and put on trial in San Francisco for violating the U.S. Neutrality Act. However, public sympathy for filibustering was surprisingly high in California, and Walker was controversially acquitted. Part 6. Legacy of a Failed Dream. The Republic of Sonora remains a bizarre, almost comical, footnote in history, a stark example of the reckless ambition of 19th century filibustering. It highlighted the audacity of individuals who believed they could create nations with private armies, often with little regard for the existing inhabitants or international law. Walker, undeterred by this monumental failure, would later achieve more temporary success in Nicaragua, where he actually managed to seize control and serve as president for a brief period before being overthrown. His adventures ultimately ended tragically. He was captured and executed by firing squad in Honduras in 1860, a fitting end for a man who lived and died by the sword of his own ambition. The Republic of Sonora stands as a testament to an ephemeral dream, a country declared but never truly realized, serving as a cautionary tale of hubris on the untamed frontiers of history.